Hi there, folks. Jen Bunk here. I am co-CEO of The People Stack, and we help tech managers like you to build your dream career. On today's episode, I'm going to talk about why preparing for job interviews is a waste of your time if you want to land a tech leadership position. Stay tuned. Hello everyone. Aloha from Oahu. We are at Kualoa Regional Park. The Koʻolau Ranch is just behind us. It is the world famous Kualoa Ranch, and these are the Koʻolau Mountains right behind me. And so these are pretty famous because you might have seen them in movies like Jurassic World, Jumanji, and the TV show Lost. So any Lost fans out there? So anyway, getting right to it. Today I'm going to talk about job interviews. And I don't want you to waste your time on job interviews anymore. And really what I want to share is why it's a waste of your time. If you're a tech leader and you're looking to land a technical leadership position, why it is a waste of your time, a complete waste of your time to spend any time preparing for interviews, particularly preparing for the tech challenge or the coding challenge portion of an interview. And so this is something that we hear from clients all the time. I'm so worried, I'm so nervous about the tech challenge, the coding challenge in the interview. I'm on the job market, I want to land the job, but you know what? If I get it wrong, and if I fail that tech portion of the interview, or if I fail any portion of the interview, then I'm not going to get the job. It's going to be terrible, and my dream job is just going to blow away in the wind. And so people get so worried about this, and I want you to know, if you're worried about this, if you're a technical leader and you're worried about the technical aspects in particular of the interview, whether there might be some sort of coding challenge or some sort of systems integration challenge, or maybe if you're in a data science area, maybe there might be some sort of data challenges or data questions that you might be asked to do, some analytics or things like that. I want you to know that it is absolutely not worth your time to study for interviews. And here's what's at stake, because if you spend time, waste time really, but if you spend time and energy and focus studying for a portion of the interview that just doesn't matter, then what you're doing is you are losing the opportunity to spend your time and your energy on focus on what actually matters. And you actually are going to not get a job. You are going to lose job opportunities, not because you failed the interview, that you failed at the tech portion or you got something wrong, because you didn't show up as the greatest possible version of you that could actually be showing up, because you're so worried. You're so full of fear and doubt about getting something wrong that the real you isn't shining through. So in today's episode, I want to give you some examples again of why this is so important, give you some examples of some of the struggles that our clients have gone through, and then we're going to talk about what shift you can make so that you can finally prepare for interviews in a way that feels great and wonderful, and you're actually going to land that hell yes job. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So almost every single one of our clients who has ever been on the job market has come to us with the fear, with the worry, with the doubt about job interviews in general, and in particular, what might be called this tech portion of the interview, the coding challenge or a data analytics challenge, the in the weeds part of an interview that many organizations require even for leadership positions. Stick a pin in that for just a moment, even for leadership positions that make you go into the weeds during the interview. But so what I want you to know is that if you're feeling some anxiety or some fear or some doubt or some uncertainty around interviewing in general, because you're on the job market and you're wanting to land a new job as a technical leader. And if you're feeling that, I want you to know that you're in wonderful company, because we have the privilege and the honor of coaching some of the best, some of the brightest, some of the most badass technical leaders in the country. And almost every single one of them has come to us with the question of, how do I prepare for the tech challenge? I know I'm on the job market, I'm interviewing for a director of engineering position, or I'm interviewing for a VP of data analytics kind of a position. There's going to be some kind of technical challenge, the tech portion of the interview. I'm really nervous about it because I'm feeling that my skills are a little bit rusty, and I've been studying really, really hard for it. I've been spending a lot of time studying for it. So what suggestions do you have for me so that I can prepare for it and ace and crack that part of the interview? And, this belief comes from a lot of different places that I need to crack the tech portion of the interview. And it's not least the reason why. It has a lot to do with the fact that there's lots of companies out there that are kind of like the Kaplan. Remember Kaplan from preparing for the GREs and for the SATs? They're kind of like the Kaplans for tech interviews, right? They're like, take our course for $199 and we'll help you crack the tech interview so that you get the job. And so they're actually not helping. They're feeding that fear and that uncertainty of like, yeah, cool, I want to get this job. I need to get this job. So what are the things that I need to do in order to prepare for that, to make sure that they hire me? And so it's really common. And, I'm reminded now, so often we like to share like a case study or one particular story of one particular client. But when I was thinking through, okay, what one story might I be able to share that can shine a light on this experience and the shift that we want you to make and what's possible for you, there's just too many of them, because it's virtually every single client who we've ever served who's been in the job market, which is hundreds of clients. But one thing that I am reminded of is that I've had a series of conversations lately with a particular client who we've actually been working with for years. And we already, years ago, we helped her up level from one position to another. She's in data analytics, and we helped her land what was at that point her dream job in the data analytics space. It's a perfect company. It's a perfect position for her and exactly what she wanted to do. She went on that roller coaster already with us. She knew exactly what was required in terms of evangelizing her excellence and in terms of showing up as an authentic, assertive servant leader. And she did all of it. And so then, unfortunately, though, recently, they got rid of her position, so she got laid off. So she's on the job market again. And even though she's been working with us for a while, she's coming to us with questions like, how do I prepare for the tech interview? And we have some fun with it. It's like, that old chestnut, you're asking us about that again. We get to have a laugh about it. And it's like, no, really, what do I need to do? I need to study. Don't I need to study? And she's just getting so worked up and so anxious and wasting so much energy studying for a test that she doesn't need to ace and that is actually irrelevant to her career, to the position that she wants as a technical leader. And I want to say the same thing to you as well. And so every single one of our clients, including her, even though she's made this shift once, sometimes we have to make a shift multiple times in order for it to really stick. And so what I want to share with you is that for every single one of our clients, including this client that I'm talking to right now, that as soon as they shed the worry and the fear and the doubt and realize the tech interview, and actually the whole interview, preparing for the interview is irrelevant. Preparing for the interview is a complete waste of my time. Once they were able to finally, completely and totally embrace that, then that was when they were able to show up as their true selves and ace the interviews without barely any preparation. That's the key here. Yeah, there's a bit of prep, and we're going to talk about that in the beginning. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment. And I alluded to it in the beginning, but really, the what's open to you here, if you're willing to be open to making this shift, is that we don't want you, as your career coaches, we don't want you focusing on the tech portion of the interviews, because if you do that, you're wasting your energy and you're losing opportunities to spend your energy and spend your focus on what really matters in terms of interview preparation. And that's what I want to talk about next. What's the best way to spend your time, your focus, your energy in preparing for technical interviews? So before we get to that, before we get to what shift I want you all to make, I want to make another point about these companies and this messaging out there about cracking, acing the tech portion of the interview. So what's really unfortunate about this is that interviews are designed to find out if it's a match, to find out if it's a true match, and to come at it from the perspective of, I'm going to crack it, I'm going to crack the code. It's almost like it's faking it. And I know that you don't want to fake it, that you want to show up as you really are, authentically. And so the thing is, companies are onto this, that you might invest hundreds of dollars, maybe even thousands of dollars on training and courses to try to crack the tech interview. And then companies are onto it, and then they're just going to change it. And all of that preparation is going to be for nothing because it's so specific to a specific set of questions. The other thing I really want you to consider is that, ask yourself, what position do I want? Do I want a position that's in the weeds, that's in the technical weeds? Because look, here's the huge caveat. If you want a position that's in the technical weeds, that if you want to be coding, for example, and you want to be, for example, a principal engineer, absolutely, of course, they should be asking technical questions because that's the job. And if the position that you want is a technical leadership position, why, oh why, do they need to be asking in the weeds technical questions during the interview? So really consider that the interview is an opportunity for you to test them as much as it is for them to test you. Is it a fit? Is it a mutual fit? So if a company is demanding, insisting that you ace a tech portion of the interview, ask yourself, is this really the position that I want? Do I want to be in the weeds? Is this the position that I want, in the weeds? Are these the skills that I want to be flexing every single day? If the answer is no, then you don't have to interview for that position. You could say no. So look, here's the shift that I invite you to make. Instead of wasting your time, wasting your energy, wasting your focus with, I got to study for the interview, I got to prepare for the interview, what might they ask, and I have to have the perfect answer. What I want you to focus on instead is to condition a state of being an authentic, assertive servant leader. I want to say that again because it's windy and I really want to make sure that you get this. I want you to condition a state of being an authentic, assertive servant leader. That's your natural state of being. And if that's what you do, that's the work you get to do, then guess who's going to show up for that interview? That authentic, assertive servant leader. And there's really no preparation or studying that needs to happen. All you need to do is show up as you. So yes, the advice of be yourself during interviews is great. But it's like, which part of myself, which myself am I going to be? Am I going to be the one that's worried and that's full of fear and doubt? Or am I going to be the one that knows what I'm capable of, that owns my worth, and that owns my value? So you got to condition yourself to do that. Now, that's the shift. Condition yourself to be an authentic, assertive servant leader. Now, as simple as that is, and it really is that simple, that's how you land your dream job. As simple as that is, it's not always so straightforward. It's not so easy. It's difficult. There's landmines on the way. I promise you there are. And they're required landmines that you need to learn how to jump over and how to avoid if you want to build the strength that's necessary to continue to be the leader that you're capable of being. So at this point, you have a choice. You could take the information that I've given you and say, oh yeah, this is really great. Be myself, just like everybody else is saying. Oh, well, this isn't really helpful. You can take that perspective. That's yours to take. It's your right. Or you could say, oh, wow, I learned a lot from this particular video filmed on location in Hawaii. And I want to take those learnings and I want to apply them and I want to take action on them. So here's what I invite you to do. Because if you want to take action on what you learned from watching this video today, which means you're absolutely committed to upgrading your career, you're absolutely committed to finally landing that hell yes position, to no longer settling for anything less than you're capable of, what I want you to do is book a call with my team right now, thepeoplestack.com/book. Go to that link. It's going to bring you to our calendar. Pick a time that works for you. Go ahead and schedule it. It's going to be on our calendar. It's going to be in your calendar. It's going to be a Zoom session. The information for the Zoom login, the Zoom information will be right there. At the time of the call, click on that Zoom link, and one of my team members is going to meet with you, and you're going to have, as long as you show up coachable, you have to show up coachable and open to the possibilities that are out there in front of you for transforming your career. As long as you show up that way, it is going to be the most clarifying, insightful career conversation that you've ever had. That's the action I want you to take, because I know that you've gotten some good information today that's really resonated. You've had some great aha moments, but you're wondering, you still have questions. You're wondering, how do I apply this in my career for the position that I want, with my capabilities, with my strengths, with my weaknesses, with the number of times that I've tried and have not succeeded? What if I'm not on the job market? How can I apply what it is that I've been talking about today and hearing about today to getting a promotion? Does this apply? The answer is yes. And so we will give you on that call custom tailored advice, custom tailored questions we're going to ask you so that you can get the clarity that you need to move forward in your career. And if it ends up being a fit to work together, we're going to talk about what that might look like. And maybe you can be one of our clients. But look, that's not what it's about. It's about you finally deciding that you are worth being an authentic, assertive servant leader who earns $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you want, you're absolutely capable of it. But you need to let go of those beliefs around needing to study and being worried and needing to prove yourself to other people, because there is nothing that you need to prove. All you need to do is show up as yourself. Show up that way, and I guarantee you're going to land your hell yes job with the right strategies and with the right support. And that's what we're here for. So book that call with my team today. thepeoplestack.com/book. Aloha, folks. Aloha from Hawaii. And see you next time. Mahalo.